Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about birth control. I'm sure every woman at some point, or girl or teenager or whatnot, has had to deal with birth control. And today I just will be telling you my experiences. I've had 2 different types of birth control. So before we hop into it, make sure that you subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell, because I will be uploading more on a regular. And so I'm just going to be giving you some insight on my experiences with birth control. So let's get right into it. Okay, so I've had 2 different types of birth control. I've had the Depo shot, Depo-Vira, whatever, and I've also had Nexplanon. So the Depo shot was the first birth control I had. I didn't have birth control like when I was a teenager or anything like that, or in school, because I wasn't sexually active. I wasn't sexually active until I went to college and left my mom's house after high school. So I didn't really need birth control. We never talked about it or anything like that. And then so when I met my fiance, I didn't have birth control either, of course, because I got pregnant with Luna. And so until after Luna, and then they talked me into it, like, you're very fertile, you can get pregnant again easily after having a baby. And I just didn't want to do that because, okay, Luna wasn't planned. She was a beautiful miracle, but she wasn't planned. So I didn't want to go that route again and just have another unplanned pregnancy. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was why I wanted them. So I wanted birth control, of course, because I wasn't ready to have another baby. I'm not sure if I want another child. My fiance already has children prior to our relationship, and those are like kind of my children as well, my stepchildren. And so I feel like I don't know if I'm going to want to have another baby. I have my baby, and I'm perfectly fine with that, with my one right now. So the next thing was my doctor's office, my gynecologist, the hospital, my family, friends, everyone promoted it. Like, oh, yeah, get the birth control. You don't want to be just spitting out kid after kid after kid after kid after kid. So I didn't really do much research. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna just go get one. And so when I went in there, I just got the one that sounded easiest, which was like, I didn't want the pill because I knew I was probably gonna skip or miss a day or something, and boom, pow, you're pregnant again. I knew taking pills aren't for me. I'm not gonna remember. So I also didn't want any of the other more serious birth controls at the time, because I'm like, I can't do no Nuvo ring or the little one that looks like a little T. I can't do that, that going up. I just wasn't ready for all that. So, and plus, I had just had a baby. I felt, vulnerable down there. I just didn't want anything down there. So I just got to the next easiest thing, which was the Depo-Vira shot. I've heard of other people being on Depo before, friends and family and stuff like that. So I just got that one. So what is the Depo-Vira? The Depo-Vira is like the shot that they give you. It lasts 3 months, and then at the end of the 3 months, you just go back and you get your next shot. Sounds great. But okay, I started to drop weight because I breastfed, but then I realized, because I actually didn't go back to get the Depo-Vira until like the next, Luna was born in October, and so I didn't actually get it until like March or April, because we had a pregnancy scare in like January, and I'm like, okay, I can't do this. So I did gain weight, in my pregnancy, of course, with Luna, but I just didn't, experience what I was going to experience with Depo. So the pros and cons for me of Depo. Let's start with the pros. The pros are you don't have a period. Well, I didn't have a period. That was my side effect of Depo. And I wasn't getting pregnant. I wasn't getting pregnant. So those were pros for me. The cons. weight gain. The visits, you had to keep, you know, going back, and then sometimes I would try to go a week before because I might have something to do the next week and just go ahead and get my shot, and they would give me the runaround. I'm like, no, you have to come on a certain day. I had mood swings. I was very, you know, down and depressed with Depo, and then I was always angry and just, you know, more than, you know, girl normal mood swings. I had crazy cravings like I was pregnant, and also it was a shot. You had to go and get a shot. I don't like needles, so that was a lot for me. And so I decided to get off the Depo that following year in June. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get off of this. And so then I decided to, you know, step it up with the birth control, because again, I still wasn't ready to have another baby, and I just didn't want to, you know, even though, you know, we're engaged and everything, we're just not ready for that. So in June of last year, I decided to get, of 2019, I decided to get the Nexplanon. Now the Nexplanon, I'm pretty sure everybody's heard that commercial, get Nexplanon and all this other stuff. And so the Nexplanon was like, basically, they made it sound so great, like, you know, it's in your arm, it lasts 3 to 5 years, you know, so that means you don't have to come back revisiting. You get that thing in and you are good, you are covered. And then in the beginning, like, I didn't have, they said that the, you know, the percentage of weight gain was really like low. So it was like, so it sounded kind of good. It sounded good because clearly I got it. So that's why we're here today. Nexplanon is the devil, don't get it. So that's just my opinion. So my pros and cons, let's just start with that for Nexplanon before I go deep into it. Number one, the pro, not getting pregnant, and it was 3 to 5 years. You didn't have to keep going back to revisit the doctor more and more. And it was a little implant in your arm, you could feel it. So clearly I've got mine removed today. And yeah, so this is the right here, they got it. First, let me tell you how they put it in. So it's like a little pinch, and then they put the little tube thingy in your arm, and it's just like a little implant, and you can actually feel it on your skin, which feels really creepy, but you can actually feel it. So it was just like, you know, if it moved or anything, if you didn't feel it right there, you know, that was your sign or warning to go to the doctor and check it out. But the whole time I had it, it didn't move, I'll say that. The cons was the weight gain. The weight gain was way worse than my weight gain with Depo. Like, I picked up 15 to 20 pounds. No, I'll say 25 pounds with Nexplanon. Terrible, because it's like I was at a standstill. I tried keto, I tried everything, and like I was a you know, I ran track in high school and stuff, so I know how to be disciplined, I know how to diet, I know how to exercise, you know, I know how to, you know, work out for my body, but it wasn't working. So I'm like, okay, something has to be something else. Then I started to get the headaches. Like, I had migraines out of this world, like all the time. Like, it was crazy. Like, I have migraines, but those migraines were like, I'm like, okay, like the later I got into having it, like the longer I had it, it's like they got worse. Then of course there's like, I think with all birth controls, depression is a side effect, and I think the depression, my depression was so much coming from not like just the side effects of the birth control or my thing. I think it was the weight gain, like, because I didn't want that weight on me. Also, one of my things was, okay, long periods. Now with Depo, I didn't have no periods until it was time for me to get at the end of the 3 months, when it was time for me to get the next shots. I don't mind my period because my normal periods without anything were only like 3 to 5 days. So I had a light, cool period. I'm not one of those people who bled heavy and didn't want my cycle. My cycle didn't bother me. So yeah, my period, my first time when I had a period on Depo, I mean on the Nexplanon, was when I first got it in. I bled for about a month, and they're like, oh, you know, that's normal, blah blah blah, you have to get used to it. So I'm like, okay, maybe this might be because I'm starting a new thing, and you know, I just have to regulate out with it. So then after about the month end, my period stopped, and I didn't have another period for like at least a month and maybe a half. Then about November, I went on my period. I didn't go off my period until like after New Year's. that's how long the period was. And so I'm like, okay, it's still fairly new to you. That was only your second period, but it was a very, very, very long and annoying period. Like some days it would be just a lot of spotting, and then some days it will just pick back up and be really heavy, and then it was just a lot, and I cramped a lot too. So I'm like, okay, just start. That's when I started, like, you know, get heavy on my keto and stuff. I'm like, maybe I just need to, you know, diet and balance my body out, right? Maybe it's just not the birth control. But the reason that I knew for a fact that it was a birth control is because, again, I started my period again in, like, after being in it for like half of January. I started again at the end of April, and I was on my period all the way until now. So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm setting up the appointment. This is too much, it's too long. I want this implant out of my body. Like, I want it out. So I contacted my doctor here, and I set up an appointment to get the birth control out of my arm, which was like a simple procedure. They numbed my arm. She touched it with a little scalpel. She did cut, you know, to get it out. It's like a little 1-inch incision, and I couldn't feel it because of course my arm was numb, but you know, she put a little, you know, I didn't need a stitch. I just got some little surgical tape to keep the cut closed, and I can't get it wet for 3 days. But I decided to make this video because I feel like people should know the truth about these birth controls, and I just feel like no birth control is natural. Foreign objects, or, you know, foreign things in your body that's, you know, interrupting the natural course. Like if you're married or you've had your children and you don't get it, I would recommend either getting your tubes tied. Maybe I never had that done, or maybe your spouse getting a vasectomy if they're willing to do that, which they should be, because, you know, in one or the other way you're gonna have more kids, or wearing condoms, natural birth controls. I will not be doing any more medical birth controls, like none whatsoever. It's just, I'm not putting any, you know, more unnatural foreign objects in my body. And so I did ask them for the implant because I wanted to show it to you guys, and I just wanted to see it myself, and they let me take it home. So this, if you can see that, is the implant. And you're gotta be wondering, wow, how does this little thing keep you from getting pregnant? Well, it kept me from getting pregnant for a year, and also caused me a lot of other pain and weight gain because of the hormones it's giving off throughout your whole body. That's why they call the shot and the pill and these implants. You gain a lot of weight because they put it up in your body, and then it's giving off the hormone all over your body. So you're gaining weight. Your body's feeling like it's pregnant. Your body's, you know, you're getting these cravings. You're eating, you know, just crazy stuff. So yeah, this is the implant. And so yeah, this little thing caused me so much pain. Also, I freaking yeah, I just can say, don't get the implant. Don't get the implant. I don't know about the little thing that goes up, but I would recommend not getting that either, because first of all, like when I got it in, it was like, oh, you want to get it in? Cool, here, you can do it today. Bam. When I want to get it out, oh, you need a consultation, this and that. It's like, how do I need a consultation if I'm telling you that I want something out of my body? And then when I'm getting it out, they're trying to push other birth controls. And they're like, you don't want to try this, you don't want to try that. No, I don't want to try any of those things. Like, I am over it. I'm done with things messing with my body. And with that being said, I'm going on a spiritual journey to reclaim and cleanse my body as my temple. So I will be uploading more about that. I will be starting a master cleanse tomorrow, and I will be uploading another video about that. So just make sure that you check back in with me, and that you're subscribing, commenting if you have any questions. I do answer all questions, of course. I don't have nothing else to do. But we're in quarantine, so you know, just I hope you guys will follow me on this journey. And if you have any questions or anything to add about your birth control experiences, please just let me know. Leave a comment down below, and make sure that you turn on your notification bell and follow me on social media. I will be also giving every day more, you know, daily updates on my master cleanse, because I'm going to do it for at least 10 days, or try to, on my fitness page at Fit Thick Bae. And you can follow me. My social media will be at the bottom, as well as my all my handles. So thank you for watching.